Hi everyone, welcome back to my vlog. I'm Robin, or A Hobbit's Reading List, and this week is the last full week before I officially start school again. And I'm very excited, but I'm also very nervous about how it's going to impact my reading. So I'm trying to get stuff done, and I'm gonna take you along with me. So this week I am pausing Wonder of Wonders, which is the history of how Fiddler on the Roof, got put onto Broadway and became a movie and a cultural phenomena. I'm pausing that for the moment. I will return back to it probably Friday, if not earlier, but I had to pause it because my family book club is having their meeting on Thursday night, so I needed to read the book club book first before I read Wonder of Wonders, which is my temple book club. It's a lot. So I'm reading Horns by Joe Hill. It is about a guy. His name is Ig, or Ignatius, but he goes by Ig. And he wakes up one day with horns growing out of his forehead. And these horns make people be very disturbingly honest. And he has this whole trauma. His girlfriend had been murdered a year before, and he doesn't know who did it, but he was accused, but his family pulled strings and got the case dropped, but because his name wasn't actually cleared, everyone thinks that he did it. So it's this whole thing. I started reading it this afternoon. I'm on chapter 21. I read 133 pages, and there's only 368 pages. So I should be able to I should finish it before Thursday, right? I will probably take it to work with me tomorrow and Wednesday. That's what I've been doing with Wonder of Wonders, and just trying to read little bits where I can. It's disturbing. It really is. And there's a character that we're introduced to about a quarter of the way through who used to be a friend of Ig's, and he's straight up, I think he's a sociopath. And I also, we find out about a quarter of the way through the book, I would say, who murdered Ig's girlfriend. And so it's just interesting. We have the information, but I want to keep reading so I know the context. So that's sort of it's really well written, which is kind of nice, although it is giving sort of thriller vibes, where when I say this, I'm referring to the thrillers that I have read, which is not many because it's not my favorite genre, and it's pretty much, I only read thrillers when I'm forced to for my family book club, because for some reason we're always reading thrillers. But it does sort of the same thing where there's it's very on the nose. I don't know how else to describe it. The characters, when they're being incredibly honest, they're saying things that you wouldn't expect them to, because there's a priest, a nun, a sunny receptionist at a doctor's office, and then they say these very honest things that are supposed to be very jarring. But I'm just okay, well, yeah, I could have told you that. So I don't know, it's just very on the nose. There doesn't seem to be a lot of subtlety, which is fine. I don't mind a lack of subtlety, actually. I'm not a subtle person, but it's just one of those things where I'm okay. It's still well written. I'm enjoying it. I know that I won't enjoy it as it gets more and more into the murder and the context around it, because I know it's going to be upsetting. So other than that, I've been trying to take it easy, because I was cleaning this afternoon and I sort of dropped a vacuum on my head. We have stairs. I was vacuuming the landing, and so I had the vacuum on the landing above it, and I was using the hose to like do the stairs. I guess I pulled too much and it just like fell right on top of my head. Like the handle like landed like right here. I'm not bleeding, so that's good. It did hurt. It still hurts. So I'm just trying to take it easy, which means that I've played some Lord of the Rings online because listening to the Fellowship has made me want to play again. And I created a whole new character because I wanted to play in, you know, in where I was in the book, which is in Breeland. And so I created a whole new character, totally disregarded my level like 99 hobbit, and created a new like woman to play with because I'm silly. And also because I had to essentially relearn how to play because I haven't played in a year. And downloading it took forever. But that's sort of my update. So I might read a little bit more tonight, but I think I'm going to play Lord of the Rings online for a little bit just because my head kind of hurts, and so I don't think I'm going to do much of anything else today. Which sucks because like usually if I don't accomplish a lot on Mondays, then I end up just like not accomplishing a lot for the rest of the week, but that's fine. So that's what we're gonna do. That's the plan. So I'm about to start reading for the day before I go get ready for work, but I wanted to give a little update on the 2 books that I'm reading right now. I'm on page 220 of Horns, which is about here-ish. Storygraph says I'm 57% through, and I'm like, I feel like that's closer to like 65, but okay. Because I have about 150 pages left. So I will definitely finish it by the time I have book club tomorrow. I will say I've made a decision just for my own mental health, because this book so heavily features a sexual assault as part of the plot, which I understand why, and part of me appreciates that it's more, it shows how terrifying men can be. Like, I'll put it that way. It really does a good job of showing, from my personal experience, how some men can be if they feel like they're friend zoned, or if they feel like you're leading them on, or some bullshit like that. Just to point out, you don't owe anyone anything. Just because they're being nice doesn't mean you have to have sex with them, and more people should realize that. But I do appreciate that it feels more real, despite the very fantasy element of the main character, Ig, having horns growing out of his head. So, anyway, I've made the decision that, like, past a certain point in the night, I stop reading. So, I think Monday night, I stopped reading around 7, and I just sort of chilled out because I could feel it impacting my mood. I like hit, and the same thing happened last night. I sort of like slumped towards the end of the night into more of like a depressy sort of area rather than like just tired and like hating my job, which is usual. So yeah, both Monday I stopped reading around 7. Last night I stopped reading around 8, but I read like 85 pages yesterday. So I got a decent chunk done, and I will definitely get like a decent chunk today because pretty much my job today involves just sitting there doing nothing. So I'm gonna get a lot of things done. So I think enjoy is the wrong word. I think it's interesting, and I don't hate it. I enjoy is not the accurate word. I'm not enjoying this book. I don't think you're supposed to, or at least I hope that a lot of people don't enjoy this book, because it deals with like some very difficult topics. Like, definitely check out trigger warnings. But I don't know how to describe what I'm feeling. I don't hate it. It is slightly triggering, but it's to a point where I can tolerate it. I won't read it again. I will say that, but it's not because it's not well written. It's actually very well written. It's just, it has too much impact on me. And so I should probably give Chris a warning tonight that I will be in a not great mood tonight as well, because that's just what it is. I'm hoping I can finish it today. We'll see. And it'll definitely be finished by tomorrow. So there's that. I listened to 2 more hours of Lord of the Rings yesterday. We are now almost to Rivendell. Almost. I'm really enjoying listening to it. It's not that I ever forgot how much I love Lord of the Rings and Tolkien. I have always been very aware of that. I named my channel after it. But it's just so nice getting to revisit Middle Earth. And like, now that it's so interesting because like, now that I'm so deep in the fandom, the nice corner of the fandom, I know more lore and everything now, so it's adding to my appreciation of the actual story. Because like, there will be things that are mentioned, like even just in Debris Land, like there have been a couple mentions of like the Northern Kingdom of Gondor, because that's what used to be there. And it's just so nice because like, they don't go into it a ton, like into like what happened with the Northern Kingdom and everything, but I know what happened. And so it's, I don't know, it just adds a whole other layer of like, oh, they're mentioning Arnor, and it's so it's enjoyable. I'm enjoying it. It is making me want to play Lord of the Rings Online again. And Siri actually picked it this morning. And of course, they're doing updates Wednesday morning. And they're doing them from like 8 a.m. my time to 11 a.m. my time. And 11 a.m. is when I leave for work. And I'm just like, the one time like Siri actually picked it and I don't get to play. So that was upsetting. It's fine. I can play tomorrow. So yeah, so that's my little update. I know today when I listen, we're going to get to Rivendell, and then the Council of Elrond chapter is 2 hours long. I usually only listen to like chapter chunks, and if there isn't enough time left in my drive to finish a whole chapter, I just won't listen to it. I'll wait until I drive next and I have enough time. So for this, with the Council of Elrond, because it's what I would listen to tonight when I'm coming home, obviously my drive is not 2 hours long. My drive is long. It's not 2 hours though. Most of the time. I was in the car for 2.5 hours a couple weeks ago. And I did look to see, because I knew it was coming up. It's the longest chapter in the book. And I did look to see, I'm like, do I have it on Friday? Because that would make sense. If I landed on it on Friday afternoon, it would be perfect. I don't. But it's fine. Since I'm listening to it on my way home, I might listen to a little bit of it while I'm at work. Probably not, though. Realistically, what I will do is I will listen to it, and then I'll just finish it while I'm home. I'll do something. Maybe I'll fold clothes or something. I don't know, because I need to do that. Yeah, that's probably what I do. That sounds like a plan. I'll do that. So, yeah, that's what's going on. I'm trying to think if I have anything going on tomorrow. I have personal training at a new time because my class schedule interfered with it. So that'll be weird. And then writing date with Ellis, and then book club. So Thursday afternoon, evening is going to be very busy. So, and once I finish Horns, I will go back to Wonder of Wonders. and hopefully get that done. So that's the plan. So I was about to go upstairs to work on a book review, and then I realized that I never filmed for today. I finished Horns this morning at about like 9:30. I only had like, I want to say like 40 pages left, so I just went ahead and finished it. For someone who doesn't read horror or thrillers that much, I don't really like them. I will say that I did, again, enjoy is not the right word. This book was a good read. I'll put it that way. Like, I I didn't enjoy it. There's no way, I think, to enjoy this book. So, because it deals with very serious issues, and that really impacted me. I'm glad to be done. I won't be rereading it, but that doesn't mean it was a bad book. Quite the opposite. I ended up rating it a 4-star because it was really well written. Like, Joe Hill has some talent, obviously, which is not surprising considering who his dad is. But, I think it'll be interesting to talk about at book club tonight, because I never know how my family's going to react to some of the books. So I think it'll be really interesting. Other than that, I'm going to go back to reading Wonder of Wonders now, because I have that book club meeting on Monday. And yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to check in. I also finished listening to the 2-hour chapter from Fellowship of the Ring, and so now we're past the Council of Elrond. Can you believe it's taken me, what's today? The 17th? Yeah. No. What is today? Sunday's the 20th. 19th. Yeah, the 17th. Okay. What is today? What's happening? Who knows? It's taken me to the 17th of August to get to Rivendell and past the Council of Elrond. I was telling my dad this morning that I think I'll finish Fellowship by the end of the month. But I don't know. My plan was sort of like, because in September I'm taking a break from TBR Pursuit and doing the Tolkien readathon that I put together. So my plan was like, all right, well, Return of the King will fill a prompt that, I don't have the book for, or I don't want to do. And now I'm like, well, I think that's going to be Two Towers. I don't think I'm going to get to Return of the King. So, and I don't know. We'll have to see. So, obviously, I'm not finishing my August TBR. I knew as soon as I had 4 nonfiction books on my TBR, there was no way. There's no way I was going to finish it. So, my dad thinks that I should have a consequence book. Even though I'm not doing TBR Pursuit, he thinks that I should, one of my, whatever prompt for the readathon, one of them should be a consequence book that he picks out. But that also depends on, like, what prompt or what list I choose. So, and I can't decide that until I know what books I will be assigned to read for my classes in September. Yeah, so that's sort of the whole thing. I haven't even put out the announcement video yet. I'm really hoping it'll go up this weekend to give people some time. Although, I know there are a lot of other readathons that happen in September, so I'm not expecting a ton of people to do it, obviously. Like, my dad is doing it, and then I think my friend Stephanie is going to do it. And hey, if that's it, that's okay too. I will do it again next year, and I'm not changing anything. There's so much, like, I'm not gonna get into it. I have a whole other video. Check that out. But yeah, so that's sort of what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go do the book review that I was on my way to before I realized that, like, oh, I should film something. So, alright. So I'm gonna wrap up the vlog. I don't remember the last time I filmed. Thursday? I think. I have about 6 hours left of Fellowship of the Ring. I am now in Moria, and tomorrow I'll listen to the chapter about the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. So that's where I'm at. I'm still really enjoying it. I'm hoping that I will be able to continue with Two Towers next month. I think I know what path I'm going to take for the Tolkien readathon. So it's just a matter of figuring out where it fits. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really glad I decided to do a reread, even if it was very intimidating and massively slowed down my reading potential for the month. Although I don't necessarily blame Fellowship for slowing down my pace. I think it's all the nonfiction. Speaking of nonfiction, I am not even halfway through Wonder of Wonders. I think I'm on chapter 5, I think. And it's interesting. It really is. I've had no idea just how much work went into a Broadway musical, especially in the 60s. And so that's really cool to learn about. And it's a lot. It's just a lot. It's really good. I'm enjoying it, and it slowed down my pace so much. I will be lucky to read 5 books this month. And I have book club tomorrow where we're talking about this book, and I don't think I'm gonna finish it in time. So it means that even after book club, I will still be continuing to read this book. So it's just, yeah, it's note to self: don't pick 4 nonfiction books in 1 month. I don't know why I thought that I could do that. That was dumb. So, yeah, that's my update. Because I don't remember the last time I filmed, I want to say it was Thursday, because I know Friday I was like, oh, well, we're going swimming, so I'll film some, like, B-roll, and then we, like, went to some shops, and Saturday, yeah, Friday and Saturday I didn't read a ton, because we were just, like, hanging out. So I'm gonna wrap up here, read for the rest of the night while hanging out with Chris. I'll read tomorrow and just see how much I can do. That's all I can really do. I'm sorry this week was a little lackluster. You got to see me finish 1 book, which is not bad. Like, that's really not bad. I just wanted to make more of a impact on my TBR. So that part sort of sucks. But hey, I still have another full week of August and then some. So there's that. All right. Comment if you've watched Fiddler on the Roof and you want me to watch it and share my thoughts, because I think I've seen it once, but it was a really long time ago. And I haven't been listening to the musical, because normally I would listen to whatever music was related to what I'm reading. But I feel like that would conflict, because I would want to pay attention to the musical, but then I wouldn't be paying attention to the book, which is counterproductive. So, let me know if you want to see my reactions to Fiddler on the Roof, because I probably will watch it at some point, because now I'm just really curious. So, yeah, let me know. Leave a comment. Like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell, all that jazz. Just, encourage me to continue reading, because I will probably... Oh, that's probably not true. I was going to say I'll probably have to read another nonfiction before this month is out, but I need to read Leave It to Smith for the podcast, which means I will definitely need motivation, because I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it at all. So, yes, send me motivation to read. This month was not great for reading for me. So, all right, bye, love you.